You ever had someone do something to you that was small, but so painful you knew you could never just let it slide? Yeah, my father-in-law thought it was hilarious to sucker punch me in the most sensitive spot a man has. Months later, he was pulling his hair out, thinking his Nintendo Switch was broken. He had no idea. That was my revenge. If you've ever dreamed of serving justice to someone who wronged you, hit that like button and subscribe, because today's story is a slow burn, hilarious case of sweet, sweet payback. You know how some people dread spending the holidays with their in-laws? Well, not me. In fact, I love hanging out with my wife's family, especially my father-in-law. We actually get along surprisingly well. We have the same hobbies, laugh at the same dumb jokes, and even hang out outside of family events. He's not just my wife's dad. Honestly, he feels more like a buddy. At least, that's what I thought. It was December 2021. Philly, my wife's family gathered for the holidays, the kind of night where the house smells like ham and cookies, people are in ugly sweaters, and the drinks are flowing non-stop. Now, I don't really drink much, especially when I'm the designated driver. So while everyone else was happily drowning in booze, I was stone-cold sober, which meant I was also hyper-aware of everything. The night was going great, until it wasn't. At one point, I was teasing my wife. Nothing serious, just a playful little debate over something dumb in a video game. You know the kind. Arguing over who had the better strategy, while everyone else laughs. Then, her dad comes over, red-faced, glassy-eyed, absolutely hammered. He watches us for a second, chuckles, and then says to my wife, "Here's how you deal with your husband." And before I could react, bam! He punches me right in the crotch. Not full force, but, gentlemen, you know, even a light shot down there feels like being stabbed by lightning. My knees buckled. My stomach twisted. I couldn't even breathe. Everyone else was laughing. To them, it was just a drunk joke. But to me, that was a line you don't cross. He did apologize later, even offered to let me hit him back. But that wasn't enough, because in my mind, no apology fixes the image of my drunk father-in-law thinking it's hilarious to drop me to my knees in front of the whole family. At that moment, I knew one thing. I wasn't going to let this go. No, I was going to get him back. Pokemon Legends, Arceus had just dropped. Me, my wife, her sister, and yes, my father-in-law all bought it. Now, I've been hunting shiny Pokemon for years. I live for that grind. And I beat the game way faster than everyone else. That's when I noticed something weird. There was a glitch. Specifically, if a shiny Giratina used the move Shadow Sneak, the game would crash. Not just the game, the entire Switch would shut down. You had to restart the whole system. And here's the kicker. As far as I knew, no one else had discovered this glitch yet. It wasn't online, it wasn't in guides, it was my secret weapon. And that's when the idea hit me. The long con. One night, we were all hanging out at my sister-in-law's place, playing Pokemon together. I casually said, "Hey, I've got some extra shinies if anyone wants one." Been collecting them for years. Now, I didn't actually have a ton. But that didn't matter. It was just bait. And sure enough, my father-in-law's eyes lit up. He's always been the kind of guy who loves bragging rights. And a shiny Giratina? That's a flex. So I generously traded him one. The cursed Giratina, the Trojan horse. I didn't say a word, didn't hint at anything. I just smiled and waited. Weeks went by, then months. Honestly, I even kind of forgot about it. Until one night, we were hanging out again, and he started venting. He slammed his controller down and groaned. "Man, my Switch has been driving me nuts. Keeps crashing. I've reinstalled all my games, restarted the whole system. Nothing works. Every time I play Arceus, it just dies. I kept a straight face, but inside, I was grinning ear to ear. So I asked, casually, does it happen whenever you use Shadow Sneak with that Giratina I gave you? Dead. Silence. He stared at me, eyes wide, jaw dropped. That's when I leaned in and said the words I had been waiting months to deliver. That's for punching me in the DX back in December. For a split second, he was stunned, processing. Then he burst out laughing, like full-on wheezing. He clutched his stomach, shaking his head, saying through gasps, "Oh my God!" I wasted real time on that. I respect the long con. Everyone else in the family, cracking up. My wife, my sister-in-law, they thought it was genius. And to make it even sweeter, a few days later, articles started popping up online about that exact glitch. But by then, he already knew. He knew I had beaten him at his own game. Think about it. This wasn't just payback. This was poetic justice. He hit me in the most sensitive place a man can be hit. So I hit him where it hurt him most. His pride, his gaming, and his precious free time. And the fact that it took months for him to realize, that's what made it beautiful. Sometimes revenge isn't about rage. It's not about screaming or fighting back in the moment. Sometimes it's about patience, about playing the long game. And in this case, it worked perfectly. He never saw it coming. If this story gave you chills or made you laugh as hard as my family did, smash that like button. And tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed? Don't forget to subscribe for more stories just like this one, because trust me, they only get better.